everyone, today I'm going to just teach you some basics of DOIs and show you how to use them in your reference section. So the first thing is a DOI is a digital object identifier, and it's a unique series of numbers and letters that's used to identify the specific article and link it to its location on the internet. And it's assigned by a publisher when the article is published and made available through databases or electronically. So all DOIs begin with a 10, and then they contain a prefix and a suffix separated by a slash, and then following that there's a series of random letters and numbers. And each DOI is different, and you can use the DOI to find the specific article that you're using. So there are several rules that go along with DOIs, and I'm going to go over specific examples in the next couple slides, but I just want to go over the rules right now so that you know them. So the first thing is, if there is a DOI, it must be included. You can find the DOI either on the title page of your article or where the article is found in a database or on Google Scholar or wherever you found it. That's where the DOI will be found, and if it does list one, you need to use it. However, obviously, if it doesn't have one, like if it's an older article, maybe 10 years ago or so, then it probably doesn't have one. But anything more recent than that, you need to make sure that it does not have a DOI because most will. So the second rule is that when you type out your citation after the title, page numbers, you type DOI : then the actual numbers. And what happens is DOI is not capitalized. And I say D especially is not capitalized because Microsoft Office will autocorrect DOI and make it capitalized once you type in the colon. So you need to go back and make sure that the auto capitalization is turned off. So it's all lowercase DOI. The next thing is that after you type DOI, all lowercase, you put in a colon, and then you type it, and then you copy and paste the DOI numbers into the citation. However, there's no space between the colon and the series of numbers, so you need to make sure you remove that if there is one. The third rule is that there is no period after the series of numbers. In APA, there's a lot of periods after the authors, after the publishing, after the title, after the year was published. However, with the DOI, you do not include a period after the numbers. Finally, the entire DOI should fit in one line. There should be no split lines. It all needs to be on the exact same line. So I'm going to go over these now. So again, just overview, here's the format here. The DOI just goes at the end of regular APA format. So notice there's a space here, and then it's lowercase DOI, colon, and then there's no space between the DOI numbers and the colon. And notice there's no period at the end. So here's some examples. You can see authors, year published, title, journal, volume, issue number, then the page number, and then here's the DOI at the very end. So space, then type DOI, make sure the D is lowercase, then colon, then the numbers, and you copy and paste the entire series. And then remember, no period at the end. So here's the thing about it all being on one line. The DOI can be on one line as long as it fits on one line. It can have other part of the citation on it. That's fine. What it can't do is it can't be split between two separate lines. So let's say that this DOI here for Macintosh and Punch was split, part of it up here, and part of it on the end of the second line, and part of it on the third line. That would not be okay for APA format. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to go to the beginning of the DOI, the start of the DOI, and click return or enter, and make sure that it goes to an entirely new line because it cannot be split. So here I'm going to show you now in an article where you can find the DOI. So here's the article, Compensatory Patterns of Sibling Support in Emerging Adulthood, from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships. So you can see, here's the DOI right here. But you'd also, if it doesn't have a DOI listed on this title page, you'd want to go and look at the original page of publication. So here in the actual database for the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, you can see the overview of the article. You can see the abstract, you can download the full text PDF, you can look at other articles citing this article, and here it lists the DOI, the journal, the publishing year, the volume, the number, and the page numbers. So that's what you'd want to look for. You'd want to make sure that it has a DOI listed. So now let's go ahead and fill in our citation. So Malevsky, A, 2005. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the title so that I don't have to type it all out. Period after the title. Times New Roman, 12 point, not 14, 12 point, nothing bolded, and make sure you have a hanging indent going. And make sure only the first word of the title and the subtitle are capitalized, except for names and names of theories, names of places, names of people, things like that. Then you go ahead and type the journal of, I cannot type, of social and personal relationships, comma. Then it would be the volume number, followed by an open parentheses, and it would be the issue number, which is 6, and then a closed parentheses, and then a comma, and then the page number, so 743 to 755. Now we, period. So now we italicize everything. The journal, notice this comma right here does not get italicized, and then just the 22, just the volume gets italicized, not the parentheses or the issue. So then you start the DOI. So I type DOI colon. So notice what it just did. It just auto-capitalized the D. So you'd want to undo that capitalization and then go ahead and input the DOI. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste it, and there it is. So now I'm going to change the font again, Times New Roman, 12, unbold. So there you have the DOI. Oh, look, then there's a space. You want to get rid of that space, and don't forget to do not put a period at the end. So here we have our citation. It's perfect. This DOI does not need to be on a separate line because it all fits on one line. However, let's pretend something here. Let's say that this is the DOI. It is split between 2 lines. As we know from APA format, that is not acceptable for correct APA format. So what we do is we go right before the DOI starts and click enter and make sure that it is on a separate line because we do not want it to be split between 2 lines. So there we have it. I'm going to put it back to the way it was. And there we go. So this would be our citation here. Don't forget, all of your citations need to be in alphabetical order by last name. And don't forget to include the DOI. It's pretty important. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, please ask your professor. And we're all set. I hope that you learned a lot about DOIs. Thank you.